Hello. Welcome to another segment of Cooking with Heather. Today we're going to do some lovely pork chops, which I have never cooked before, but I hope they will come out alright. Alright, so we're going to get those started. And we're going to get some butter to grease it. Mostly because I don't know where the spray is. And you know, we may be out of spray, we're not rich, so we just have to make do with what we have. Alright, so we may have to get a tissue from the bathroom for that. Ah, never mind, I found a paper towel which will work great. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to take a bit. Oops. We're just going to rub it lightly around the pan, and then we're going to put it back on the stove. It's smoking a bit already, which means we interrupted it. We shouldn't have. And then we're going to throw the paper towel away because I hate waste. It's disgusting, and we shouldn't work with slobs when we're in a kitchen. I really hate waste. So I'll just do that. And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to prepare another little bit of vegetables and some greens. Because greens are so important. But first we're going to put our meat on. You know that? Because meat is definitely important. And we're going to throw out some Montreal chicken spice. Some lemon and pepper. And we're going to get some other spices here in a bit. Spice cover's a bit of a mess. Forgive that. We're going to get a few bacon bits in there to, you know that. And we're going to get some tiny bit of garlic. We're going to get some dill. Quite a bit of spices here. We might just leave that alone for now. Flip it upside down a bit so it'll loosen up and get some of the and hence these are cooking nicely. Alright, now we're going to go to our vegetables. And you know, vegetables are very important. We need to wash our hands first and get all the grimy meat, because we were touching meat, and that's okay as long as you clean your hands first, right? Alright, now, and you know what? I have another surprise for you. We're going to use some chicken bacon. Ooh. Chicken bacon is like Vegas. So we're going to just use some more butter. Or some more margarine, excuse me. We're going to use some margarine and put it on the pan so the bacon doesn't stick. Just a little bit, because you know it's wasteful to use a whole bunch on a smaller pan. So we're going to heat that up. And we're just going to make it very nice and cheerful. Ooh, and that is cooking quite a bit, so we're going to turn that down quite a bit. We're going to take some strips of bacon and just I think we only need about 4 because we don't need that many. We don't need to fill the whole pan. And besides, we want to save some bacon for tomorrow or whenever else we eat it. We're not wasting food here. So we're going to do that. And we're going to season it with some bits. And some dill weeds. I love the way that dill weeds is spelled. What a lovely word. Where is it? There we go. We're going to cook it and let it just cook and be lovely. And we don't have any onions left, so it's sad, but that's okay. We can make do. Alright now, people. We're going to have a little look at what I'm doing with these vegetables. Do you see the cutting board? Good, you see the cutting board. Now that all the meat's taken care of, we can take care of the vegetables. We're going to wash our hands again. The fruits and the vegetables, because we've got a lovely green pepper here. And you know, we're not into seeds, so we'll just pluck those right out. Because you know, the seeds from the peppers can be actually very spicy, because I've tasted one once and it was spicy as heck. So these are lovely pork chops with some greens, because you've got to try and have some greens. You really got to try and have some greens with some meat, because we've got a good amount of meat. We've got pork chops and bacon, and it's really just and we may just use this one pepper just because I maybe want to save the others as snacks. And they don't have to be cut even, because they're just a side, they're a garnish. And see how lovely those are? See how lovely those are? And do some more. I'm just going to take this bit out because it's not very useful. And we're going to do some celery as well, just because I think celery might be very useful. I mean, some of it's old, that doesn't mean I can't use some of it. Just get rid of the tough, icky parts which we can't use. I'll put them in there for now. Alright, that's the amount of celery we want. Alright, we've got our vegetables. Oops, no we don't. We want some cucumber in there, don't we? Because cucumber is like very awesome to eat. But what we're going to do now is pour these in with the steak. And just toss them up a bit. Ooh. Got to check on our bacon. And it's cooking. We can turn that lower because we don't need it quite as fast. So anyway, now we're going to get some nice garnish. We're going to find some raspberry vinaigrette if we have it. And we might not have it. So we'll just have to do some California dressing instead. Yeah, we'll have to do some California dressing as a bit of a flavor topper for this. And a bit for the bacon as well. I mean, people may think it disgusting, but whatever. My food. And we're also going to garnish it with a bit of sweet and sour to kind of give some flavor. And yeah, and maybe some lime. And add some lime to the bacon. Woo! Look at that. Right. Take note, this is purely experimental. And now we're going to go back to our topping. Rinse our knife. Get these pieces out of the sink before Mom comes home and freaks. Let's see. That in her sink. Rinse the board. And now we're going to move on to apples. And you wonder, why would I put apples in that? Maybe just one. Let's see. I can get quite a bit out of one, so I might just do one. Actually, yeah, we can do apples and cucumbers on the same board, and it won't hurt anything. Now remember, these don't have to be evenly cut, but you should cut them because then they're easier to eat. And you can kind of cut them however you want. And there we go, there's our apples. And we're going to add them to the mixture. We're going to rinse the cutting board again because we're going back to a vegetable now. But before we do that, we're going to give it a good toss. Check on it. And you know what? We're going to add something to it to get sparkle wild. What to add to it? You know what, we'll just dump some butter on it, or some margarine, sorry, I mixed the two up quite a bit. Saute that with butter. And normally you want to put the butter in first, but try something new, I'm all in favor of that. We'll just turn that up a bit, let it cook and sizzle and be happy. Right. Now on to our cucumbers. Or our cucumber. We'll probably use about half of it. We'll probably use about half of it. And then put the other half back. You see how carefully I'm cutting these? You can do it as meticulously as you want, but don't cut your finger, because it's painful to cut your finger. And we'll just pop it in to the mixture we've got, and that we're pretty much done with the chopping actually. So we'll return all these to the fridge. Notice how I didn't talk a lot during that portion? Well, now I'm going to talk. Well, there we have it. Look at that. Check our bacon. It ought to be done by now. It ought to be really good and crispy and just working on it. But you know what else we can do? We can prepare a place for our greens. Get out of the way, you! I didn't talk a lot because I was so deep in concentration. And you know, we'll just spritz some more lime on that just to make sure it has some good seasoning. And you know what? Just for a tiny bit of garnish, we're going to add some sweet relish. Just to see if it will mix well. 2, 3 of these small spoons ought to do it. And let's pray to destroy the dish. Because this is like total experimental cooking. So we're just going to hope and pray for the best. That apple tastes good. Alright, while we wait for those to cook, we're going to talk about how important it is to keep the kitchen clean. As you see, there's hardly anything out. Because I felt like if I left a mess, what kind of message would I be sending? And you know, let's get that bacon going a little faster. It's probably done pretty soon. Give it a shred of parsley to kind of Alright. Alright. So that would be about it for putting it together. Now we just have to wait for it to cook. And then plate it, but you know, we can get our plates out now because I have a feeling it won't be very long. So we'll just get some plates out. And put some pretty greens on them. Besides, we have to use the salad. And there's the salad I'll use. Oh, wind. And then we throw away the bits we're not using, otherwise it'll be wasteful. Like the bits that can't be eaten. I'm going to throw this away too. Here we go. Woo! Here we go. Let's look at what the progress on the steak and bacon, shall we? I think it's getting near the finish line. Woo! This bacon is done. It is definitely done. So we're going to turn that off and let it cool a bit. And this looks like it's getting to be done too. Look at that. And you know what? We'll just grab a knife. Have a little poke at it. And it looks done. That's nice. Very nice indeed. Right then, we're going to get the steak out. Are you watching how I'm plating? And we're going to put a half steak on each plate. Put a bunch of lovely vegetables after we drain them. We need to drain the vegetables because they are looking greasy. Excuse me on that. Right then. Ooh. We barely missed that, didn't we? Let's pour it over here. Excellent. We're just waiting for the veggies to cool, and we might help them out a bit by running some cold water. We're just going to continue cleaning up. So, yeah. And we've got to remember the bacon. It's done, too. Put that there. Now this is chicken bacon, so don't think we're eating overly unhealthy, please. And so that pan's done. We're going to set it with the others. Going to get some water into it so it doesn't go melt. on that fat. Now, we're going to use a spoon to portion out vegetables. So, there we go. And that is our meal. Pork chops with chicken bacon, I believe it is. And a green salad with some sides that have been cooked with the pork chops and